We haven't been here very long, but I've already relaxed. Cyrus hasn't, though. He's hunched over a keyboard and monitor. In a situation less strict with time, I think I'd like to try reading some of these books. Their stories must be very odd. Fiction is written from reality, right? Then by that notion, I may only assume that here they have books about economy and wartime shenanigans. While an unpleasant thought to ponder, I have to admit that I'm curious. Alright. Alright? I got the coordinates for this office, found the presidential building's floor plan pretty easily. Looks like he really is a figurehead, practically a tourist attraction. Or he would be. ... I should mention that I actually found that information on a site for tourism in a less desperate situation that would have made me laugh. Well, no matter. This is it. Are you prepared? The location data has been sent to your ICD. We'll be off when you're ready. I told you as before. You're still? Of course! Whoa, weird. Her body language is bananas. My blood is burning fast and everything. What a ridiculous question. After that gauntlet earlier, what isn't there that I can weather? Alright, but if you get worried at all about the dangers, remember that I'm here. I'll make sure you're safe. In a show of what I think is supposed to be reassurance, Cyrus displays a weapon for me from his inventory. :A ... gun, I think. Punctuation! I do not take it very well. An understatement, if I've ever thought one. I almost have a breakdown at the sight of it. This person is fragile. Image and reality are very much separate things, and I was beginning to think these guns didn't exist. I was hoping they didn't exist. In its presence, I feel myself shrinking, and I can only hope I will pump back up in the next minute or two. This is a porno. I can't be cowering at the climax, can I? Why is he's falling asleep? I shake my head, quickly. We'll shift in 5. Awesome, that's awesome. I start breathing in through my nose and out through my mouth, slowly, trying to quell my heartbeat. Within 5, it is mostly successful. Surprising! With today's record, one would imagine I'd be having a fit around now. Ha 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 ha, sure. Oh, and one more thing. More guns! Ha-hum. ... Don't say a word. Ha-hum's not a word. Is this the end of the whole thing? Okay, here we go. Alright, I sort of wanted to speak too, although I guess it is asking for a bit too much. Putting me in charge of the situation would be a bad idea. I can understand the fact I'm not that stubborn and foolish. It appears that Cyrus thinks otherwise, however, as upon our arrival here, he immediately puts a finger across my lips. Clearly. I frown behind it, but I'm mostly alright with it. That's a lot. Like, if a superior who I'm not that close with physically touched my face, I'd be very upset. Maybe I'm the fragile one here. He starts glancing around the room, and I bounce my gaze around as well. There's a desk, a crest, flags, a man at the window, a video camera, presumably to make addresses with, and other things. Is that a radio I hear? Well, the man is the President Barnaby, I assume. I shoot him. In my peripheral vision, I see Cyrus raising his weapon. Here, the body language is actually appropriate. Wait. Now, there's no call for that. The man's alone, Cyrus. Stop it. What are you doing? She's not saying this out loud. Don't shoot him, you idiot! Oh my goodness, he's still raising it? I don't want to see a man get shot. It sounds nauseating, frightening, horrible, ... My lips tremble, and he puts his entire palm over my mouth. I catch myself in confliction, wanting to cry out and stop him, but not wanting to give our presence away. I take to grabbing at the side of his hand and gripping his skin with my nails, trying to pry him off. Of your mouth? It's unsuccessful, of course. I can hardly budge his hand. Getting desperate, I try to bite him, and only end up awkwardly licking his fingers. Salty. Good expression there. At this, he trembles. His cheeks change shade, and he briefly glares at me. He squeezes my face shut. Like a ball of Play-Doh. He aims at the president, and finally, with willful strength, I manage to wrench his hand from my face and shout. Don't shoot him! Don't move. Having both spoken at once, it ultimately sounds like don't move him. Noticing what I've done, Cyrus harshly addresses me under his breath. What did I just say, Winter? I push his arm away from me and glare at him. I glare... This is where punctuation should be good. I push his arm away from me and glare at him a glare that says, I thought you were going to shoot him. Oh, Barnaby. Well, we've typically made mayors out to be, Christopher Walken. This guy's a king, or president, I guess. Who should I make? I guess he could be Southern, like House of Cards. But I'm in the mood to go more Bowie, I think. Now, what's all this? He's English. The president has turned and is now looking at us. ... I screwed up. ... Hey, no, wait! Cyrus might have really been about to shoot him. Also, what was he doing holding me like that? What sort of plan was he making? I'll give you the benefit of the doubt and assume you didn't hear me right just now. I said not to move. Close your eyes. Yes, that's right, with a gun. Well, then, I do apologize for my misunderstanding. Right, well, now you know. ... Who's talking? ... Okay, going to say anything more anytime soon? I can't believe we're seriously having an awkward silence here all places. I mean, really. It takes what feels like a minute before Barnaby decides to break the mood. You're here to kill me, I suppose? No, I've actually come to talk. To talk? His eyes drift from Cyrus to me, and I have no idea what else to do but quake under his gaze. How about not quaking? That's a good idea. He is... foreboding in his oldness. Cause yeah, he's so old looking. I mean, he's not young looking, but it's not like... He's so old he makes you afraid and quake. I don't understand. So much for confidence, ... I don't believe guns can speak. Cute. Just consider the weapon some insurance. ... It's not real concern anyway. He looks away from me and back to Cyrus, an action that relaxes my shoulders. Well, I've got to say, I was expecting someone to come for me with a gun, but the girl is a surprise. I'm probably not in any position to be asking questions, but I just have to know, what do you mean to accomplish in bringing her here? She has to be here, and that's all you need to know. Well, all right. So, where are the guards? They're looking after things that are actually important. What is this devilish old man saying? Is he trying to pull a fast one? Where the longer we fart around with irrelevant questions, the sooner the doors will blast open and both of us will be killed? Or does he have an even more sinister plan than that, ... I voice my concerns in action, tugging Cyrus's jacket and giving him a look. Look and tug, as I might though, he refuses to consider me. Whatever. My movements broke his concentration, now he's taking a minute to recollect his thoughts. I take the opportunity to speak in his stead. Alright, wait a second. Cyrus groans and shakes his head, clenching his fist and teeth. Good expression for there. Winter, ... I mostly ignore him. What should it matter whether you were alone or guarded or whatever? Couldn't you be lying, and they're in fact waiting behind the door for us? There's no one waiting. Well, even if that were true, then wouldn't it suggest in your expectation and aloneness that you were seeking a, well, ... certain kind of situation? What situation's that? Like, you know, ... a murder? That's enough, Winter. Okay. Comma. Okay. Semicolon. Fine. There's not going to be any murder here. We both look at Barnaby, who looks dull. Even if that seems to be what someone here wants. Ooh. His lips just got pretty lipstick on them. Look, I don't know what you suggest... Quiet, alright? The implications here are really rubbing me the wrong way. Planned martyrdom? ... I don't even want to think about that shit. Well, you were gonna make him a martyr anyway. What's it matter whether or not he expected as much? Because then it says a Xanatos death gambit, and I don't like playing into those. Well, they're kind of unavoidable by definition. ... Now listen, that's all I'm asking. Don't argue, don't make any sarcastic comments, in fact, don't talk. Unless I give you the go-ahead. If you do, I might have to shoot your legs or something. And I very much doubt you'd like that. Are we clear? Barnaby nods. Hey, that's wonderful. Okay, and this is the only thing, I want your word that you won't launch that nuke. The president regards my mentor with confusion and a touch of disbelief. ... You may respond. That's just not how this works. I can't give you my word when my country will only suffer in turn. The lives of Gabrians over Britons is not something I can accept. Are you dense? I don't just want your word for the Gabrians, I want it for us Britons. ... You too are Britons? Yes. Barnaby descends into peals of laughter. I, on the other hand, am just bewildered by Cyrus's ability to so quickly lie. You expect me to believe that one of my citizens would threaten me over the lives of our oppressors? Yes. I'm sorry, that's just too ridiculous. Are you fucking retarded? Do you think Gabriel would even think of wasting resources to kill you? You think they even care? Even if you do fire them, they'll just take it as a chance to dominate us completely again. They'll ravage us. Don't you get it? You're asking for a war. You're about to take on one of the world's military giants with a bomb and a ragged army. This decision did not come easily. I don't want to do this. Then find some other way. There is no other way. You, as anyone else, should understand that. I have tried every other way. We have bent and knelt nose to the floor for Gabriel for over a century. And do you see where it's gotten us? It hurts me to see my people celebrating the increase of minimum wage when I know damn well that Gabriel is laughing at us for the joke that it is. This is the one advantage over Gabriel we've ever had. A weapon incomparable to anything in their arsenal. In anyone's arsenal. I'm not about to waste that. The options are exhausted. I gave them an ultimatum, and I swear to you, we're ready for the... Well, we alone can't take on the forces of Gabriel, even with the funding they gave us. We are not... alone. Aliens! Looking flustered, Barnaby palms his face. The adults fall silent. Cyrus glances at me in quick bursts, his expression growing increasingly concerned. If what we both heard is right, Barnaby is suggesting that Brighton has friends. You allied with Ferdia. Barnaby pants, clearly unused to breaking face. It's only temporary. You can't believe that. We had no other choice. We couldn't fund the research on our own. That doesn't matter, Don't you realize? We can trust them. They understand us. Ferdia will stomp us into the dust once this is over. We'll have to deal with that as it comes. Once more they fall silent. This, well, this just changes everything. How could we have gone and done that? To what leagues of desperation has this nation fallen? Barnaby, sweating, finally speaks again. I'm sorry. Crap almighty. What are we gonna do now? With this, Gabriel really isn't a threat at all. Those powerful weapons and that vicious nation's backing, Gabriel's screwed, A hopelessness settles into me as I realize how out of control the situation has become, with one revelation. It looks now that no matter what, there will be killings. Then you asked for military to keep Gabriel out of suspicion. Yes. Killed two birds with one stone that way, huh? Yes. Cyrus shakes his head as though the ridiculousness of the situation is simply too much to take. He drops his gun arm, signifying his relinquishment. President Barnaby, He looks at me like he forgot I was in the room. I probably don't need to tell you how much you've ruined ruined us. You're going to initiate an absolute slaughter this way. At the end of the day, Ferdia will just slaughter us too. I understand your desperation, but I think you don't give Gabriel enough credit. Both pairs of eyes are now on me, and I feel pressure to speak convincingly. It really is now or never. When it's certainly hard living the way we do. My dad my dad works almost constantly, and we really do always have to worry about things like starving and all that. You've really got to remember, though, that you're about to bite the hand that feeds us. They gave us an opening. As much as you think it's a joke, we celebrate it for a reason. I'm sure and I'm positive that if you were to just keep fighting for us, then maybe we could change more things. So you're his daughter. I nod hesitantly. Barnaby shakes his head in a slower manner reflective of Cyrus's earlier movement. This is just the strangest thing. Well, do you have anything to suggest, girl? Some option I might have missed? ... Well, no, I don't. I'm sort of just hoping to appeal to his heart. I don't have anything to offer that he hasn't already considered, I bet. Also, what with the mistakes of his union with that nation on the border, I'm pretty sure there's nothing I can suggest to save this place. Still, he seems to want me to answer, and Cyrus isn't stepping in. Is there anything I think he missed? Obviously not talking to Gabria. Gabria! Gabria hasn't responded. We were right then. Gabria will use Brighton's actions to justify violent reaction. Mercy! What do their people think? Setting aside that they're likely underestimating this country, let us imagine that they knew full well that Brighton posed an actual threat. Would they be willing to go to war? To perhaps die, just to subjugate Brighton once again? Yeah, sure. I mean, didn't Cyrus say that even Brighton's people don't want this? Why should those of Gabria? They aren't even very militaristic. They must believe that Brighton isn't nearly as dangerous as it actually is. Those nuclear weapons have never existed before, right? Then what Brighton needs to do, is make Gabria take them seriously, to inform the public of their abilities. You could always launch it. He raises an eyebrow. I mean, somewhere else. Where do you suggest? Somewhere where it couldn't kill anyone? You want me to fire a warning shot? Yes. Gabria's probably just waiting for us to attack so that they can retaliate and put us on an even tighter leash. However, if they and their people had a demonstration of the destructive power of the bomb, then I think... Barnaby heaves a mighty sigh. Sorry to say, little girl, but that option has already been considered and rejected. Why? We can't afford it. Let's just say that our supply of warheads is limited and that production costs are rather high. What's a warhead? Another name for the bomb. Oh, of course. Even with the funding Ferdia has given us, we could only make so many. Aside from the monetary cost, the materials are particularly difficult to procure and time-consuming to process. We simply cannot afford to be wasteful. We will need every weapon available for whatever threats could be coming, ... Gabrian or, I hate to say it, Freudian. Well, it wouldn't be wasteful, it would be to scare them and avoid this whole thing. I know what you would intend them for, but I'm afraid that objectively it would be a waste. If I may interject, we are both surprised that Cyrus still has a voice. Why? The bomb is untested? Practically. If we had done a full-scale test, our cover would have been blown. Then there's really never been anything like this before, ... Pardon me, but I don't follow sciences. That's right, while Gabria and other nations have tampered with nuclear fusion, it has never been applied to weaponry this successfully. According to our scientists, our largest bomb should be enough to wipe out their capital. Ah, I hear that still makes... hearing that still makes my head spin. All of Gabrayer? Isn't it just a bomb? Not a conventional bomb. Well, it's no wonder Gabria isn't listening. No one understands what this thing is. Were you just planning on surprising them? How disgusting. ... The lives we'd take in our attack would be nothing compared to the losses we have suffered under their rule. No statistics have ever been released, but upwards of 100,000 die every year from poverty in our country. What? To put that in perspective, our nation's population is numbered at 34 million, and an estimated 5 million have been lost in just the last 60 years. I don't even know how to pronounce that, whatever, man. 47% of this nation lives in poverty, and the rest still suffer under pitiful wages. Sacrificing the city of Gabria in an instant, a mere 3 million? I wouldn't sleep any worse for it. That's stupid. Winter, not now. It is, though. What terrifying numbers, ... And he wants to raise them? What does that even prove? She's right, though. That is very stupid. Mr. President, stop thinking so little of other lives. Tish, funny you should say that. Gabria has hurt us, but what will returning the favor accomplish? You're only going to breed more hate. We have a military, we have Ferdia, and as if those weren't enough, it seems we have more than one city-leveling bomb. Reconsider already, just launch it into the ocean, let them realize what we're capable of. Anyone would fear the weapons we harbor, and you have no reason not to brandish them. You could spare those 3 million lives, you don't have to sacrifice them to make a point. ... Even if I did agree, I don't know I have that kind of power. Oh please, don't act weak now. Talk with your advisors, make a new call, and make the Gabrians piss themselves in terror. In the aftermath, I get the feeling they'd be more than willing to talk. Hell, maybe they'll give us more than we ever asked for. Just give them that chance. ... I ... will do what I can then. Really? The president reaches up and compresses part of his collar between two fingers. ... Call off the launch for now. We're having a conference. Immediately. This is an executive command from President Jonathan Barnaby. Call X374. ... It is done. We will consider the issue. ... However, we'll need to make a decision quickly, and if it changes from the one we'd already made, I'm frankly not sure how the Furrians will take it. But we can't allow them to control us. I'm not shedding a master just to take a new one. We should not charge headlong into war just for slights against us. We should retain our identity as Brightons. Just as you two. Then we're honorary Brightons now. What a badge of shame. Speaking of you two, ... I'd appreciate if you used whatever way you got in to get out of here. Whatever organization you're part of, well, I just assume that you are, but ... I think it would be best if you two remain anonymous. I would agree. Cyrus turns and walks a few steps before stopping to scrutinize the rug. He breaks his gaze from it and calls back to Barnaby. Hey. Yes? Thanks for actually listening to us. Thanks for not shooting me. Watch it. I didn't promise. I wouldn't bust any kneecaps. This worries me for a second, but as it turns out his weapon is already put away. Poof! Groovy.